Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lisdawati. So in this video, I would like to explain about the overview of my graduating paper proposal that is entitled The Role of Authentic Assessment in English Classroom to Promote Students' Thoughts and Critical Thinking. Let's get into the materials. For the first slide is about the background of the study. So what the reason why do I want to conduct this research is because the study of Kusuma 2017 that state high level thinking skills of the students in Indonesia is still weak. So critical thinking or high level thinking are expected to be implemented in students learning. So this study aims to analyze the role of authentic assessment in English classroom as a method to promote students' thought and critical thinking. In this case, build the question, why do critical thinking or high-level thinking skills are needed in this era? We already knew that we are living in this 21st century that is more complicated than the previous era, where all the human being or us needed to be up to date along with the fast and easy social life relationship. All the needs and facts of life in 21st century require the ability of critical thinking to maintain all the changes and the development of this century. And also the previous research was conducted by Mohammed 2017. The result shows that authentic assessment have potential to measure high order thinking skills among students. As the previous research that only focused on the literary view rather than the real situation, I want to analyze the real situation of what is exactly the role of authentic assessment um, in English classroom. So by adapting the application of authentic assessment, hopefully it can stimulate a variety of instructional models that can attract students' critical thinking and thought. Okay, so what is the research of these questions? This research have two research questions. For the first is, does the role of authentic assessment can promote critical thinking and thought in English classroom? And the second, how well does authentic assessment promote critical thinking and thought? So what does authentic assessment mean? Authentic assessment is a process of collecting the significant information of the students' outcomes in the term of knowledges, attitudes, and skills by using various techniques based on the actual facts. So, authentic assessment is a type of assessment which students are asked to perform real-world assignments or tasks that can demonstrate the knowledges, the skill that the students have learned. Okay, so for the next is about the type of authentic assessment. According to Fitriani 2017, authentic assessment is divided into three types. Those are performance assessment. Performance assessment is included as an authentic assessment that refers to a variety of tasks and situations in which students are given the opportunity to demonstrate their understanding to apply the knowledge, the skill, or the habits of mind in a variety of contexts. And the second is project assessment. Project assessment is a kind of assessment where the teacher gives the students a task that have to be completed in a certain of time. A project can be conducted as an individual task or a small group assessment. This kind of assessment is in a form of investigation that includes several actions of planning, data gathering, organizing, data analysis, and also presenting. Project assessment encourages students to create or build something new um, according to the topic of the given context or the given task. And the last is portfolio assessment. Portfolio is a kind of assessment where the teacher collects students' works to see the progress in a certain period. So it consists of students' writings based on the curricular goals. In this assessment, brings whether the teacher or the students to reflect their performances for the certain of time of their learning. Okay, for the next is what does actually critical thinking mean? According to Haberlin 2018, critical thinking is the ability of gathering information, analyzing the information accuracy, organizing the thought so they can distinguish, they can differ the information between logic and illogical inferences. So critical thinkers would think before do. They will analyze whether the information is logic or illogic. And for the next is about what does the terminology of HOT mean. HOT stands for higher order thinking skills. HOT has three concept items that include critical thinking, creative thinking, and also problem solving. So HOT is a high level or has high place of thinking because the process of HOT brings the activity or brings the concept of creativity, critical, and also problem solving. This research used narrative inquiry. So, according to Thomas 2012, narrative inquiry is the study of story and interpretation. Narrative inquiry investigates what case that is happened and how that story is told or shared. This study uses narrative inquiry to collect or to describe students. I'm sorry, to collect or to describe participant stories to understand the social patterns. And for the next is about the participants of the study that is used. So this research involves three pre-service teachers of English education background that have learned about language assessment. And also they had attended the program of Kampus Mengajar 2. Okay, for the data collection, I will use two um, research instruments. For the first is journal writing, journal diary, and also interview that consists a set of questions. So for the first, to collect the data, I will direct the participants to use the application of Padlet so they can write their experiences about their teaching in English classroom and what kind of authentic assessment that they can apply in the classroom. And also, does authentic assessment actually promote students' critical thinking and also students' thoughts? The journal diary would be conducted per 1 month to see the development of English classroom in using certain types of authentic assessment. Then, to strengthen the data, I will finally conduct the interview that consists set of questions about the overview of authentic assessment in their English classroom guiding. Okay, so for the data analysis, in the data analysis space, I will organize and reduce data to interpret the results from both data collection of journal writing and also interviews. Um, so the data analysis is about a preparation in data processing using prefigured codes based on theoretical models. So in this research, I will form the code into some categories. For the first is the themes of the code. There are the role of authentic assessment, students' critical thinking, and students' thought. And also would form as sub-themes. There are how well does authentic assessment to students' critical thinking, and how well does authentic assessment to students' thought. And finally, the data is interpreted and the results are presented in a form of it can be the text, or it can be the tables, or it can be the images. So that's all from my explanation about my graduating paper proposal. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.